Hello, and welcome to Econ 116. I'm Steve Horwitz. I'm the instructor for this course. The first thing I want to talk about with you is why we're doing this course online. I should tell you this is my first time teaching online, so that will make this something more of an adventure for us this semester. But the reason we're teaching this online actually has to do with me and not you. In November, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is a form of blood and plasma cancer. I'm currently undergoing chemotherapy for that. As you can see, I'm obviously not dying, but the chemotherapy and the effects of the disease make it difficult for me to be able to know that I can be in class for 2 hours a day, 3 days a week on a regular basis. It's simply too unpredictable. So one of the things we decided was to offer my two courses online this way as a way that enabled me to not have to be on campus as often as I would otherwise. So that's why we're doing it this way, and all I ask of you all is to sort of bear with me as we figure this thing out. So what I'd like to do in this short video introduction is just tell you a little bit about the course and about what we're going to do this semester. There are more substantive videos to come about the actual material from the course. So let me first tell you that the syllabus for the course is available on Blackboard, and everything we're going to do this semester online will be done through Blackboard, other than perhaps email conversations with me or the occasional Skype for office hours. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But Blackboard is the key, so you need to make sure you have access to Blackboard, that you find this course in this section. And I think if you go there, you'll see that the way things are organized. If you go, you'll find the syllabus there already. You'll also find under course content folders for each of the 15 chapters we will cover. There are 15 chapters that we'll cover in the textbook. There are 15 weeks in the semester, so that works out nicely. We'll cover one chapter per week, and each chapter, again, has its own folder. What I'll do is I have those folders set up to become available to you on Monday of each week. So, for example, on Monday, January 8th, the folder for Chapter 1 will be available to you, and all those materials will be there. Chapter 2 will not be available until January 15th. What I don't want to have happen is people trying to jump way ahead. So we'll all work at the same pace, a chapter per week. Some of the chapters are shorter and easier. Some of them are longer and more complex, but I think it just makes sense to figure 1 week per chapter. As I said, each chapter will have its own folder in the course content section. When you go in there, you'll find one file that says links to the chapter's material. That's your main reference point. You want to go there to find all of the material that you'll need to do for that chapter. In addition, there will be other links below in the main folder. There will be one for the PowerPoint for each chapter, and then occasionally there are assignments or the like that are there as well. But it's that main one that says links for the material that you want to go to. In there, it gives you all the links for the various things that you'll need to do. So let me tell you a little bit about what you'll have to do generally with each chapter. The two most important things, I think, are to read the chapter completely, so you need to get your hands on the textbook for the course, which is The Economic Way of Thinking by Hain, Betke, and Pacheco. The 13th edition, please. That's the most recent. There are plenty of used copies out there. You should have no problem finding this through Amazon or wherever else you go to get textbooks. Obviously, the BSU bookstore will have some as well. But please get a copy. If you don't have the textbook, you're simply not going to be able to pass this course. It's that simple, particularly taking it online. So for each chapter, you're going to have to go through read the chapter carefully and thoroughly in the textbook, and then go through the PowerPoint material that is available to you. In many cases, the PowerPoint closely tracks the chapter. In other places, it doesn't, and provides some additional kinds of things. Those are the core. The other thing I think that's central is that I will record videos like this, at least one per chapter. In some cases, there'll be two. What I've decided to do is sort of use those to cover the material I think is most difficult in each chapter, or at least the material that requires the most explanation for me. My recommendation would be that as you watch those videos, you have the PowerPoint open in front of you, and I would think the book too, and you sort of want to use this opportunity to think about how what I'm talking about in the lectures relates to the things you've covered in the book and the PowerPoint. It is also my recommendation that you read the chapter and look at the PowerPoint first. That way you'll have some kind of baseline for the things that I'm talking about in those videos. Those videos will generally be short. I'm not going to give you a full sort of 50-minute lecture structure for each one. Ideally, I'd like to keep them all, each of those videos less than 15 minutes. In some cases, there'll be 2 videos for a chapter. What else do you need to do? You'll see on that sheet that there are supplemental videos for almost every chapter. All those are available out on the internet. The links are provided for you there. You should go watch those as well. In some cases, as I said, there's some supplemental readings that you'll need to do. And there's a handful of chapters that have some handouts associated with them. So again, pay attention to that main file that says links for the material. The other thing you will be required to do for each chapter is post at least one substantive contribution to a discussion forum. I've created 2 discussion forums for each section. One of them is what I call the weekly discussion forum. That will involve me posing you a question for each of the chapters we cover, and each of you required to respond to that question or push the discussion forward or ask a question of your classmates, whatever it might be. Your job is to jump into that discussion. Everyone must contribute at least once to that discussion, and as you'll see, that's part of your grade for the course. In addition, there'll be a general class discussion forum I've created. That's an opportunity to ask about things you're not clear about, to raise other discussion questions that don't come up in the forum, to ask for clarification. I'll monitor that closely, and I'll try my best to respond to those as quickly as I can. Your contributions to that will be graded as well as part of the class participation grade. In addition, for each chapter, I've provided 3 suggested end-of-chapter questions from the textbook that you can answer. You can write those up and submit them to me if you wish, or you can just write them up and keep them to yourself. Every Sunday, at the end of each chapter, I'll post short answers to those questions. Doing those end-of-chapter questions is optional, but I think students found last semester if they did them, it helped improve their grades and the exams, and certainly signals to me that you're serious about doing well in this course. So in addition to the work you're doing, I will try to be available as much as I can for office hours via Skype by appointment. I can also do Google Hangouts if you want, but not FaceTime. What you should do if you want to chat with me one-on-one is drop me an email. We'll set up a time, and we'll either use Skype or Google Hangouts to find an opportunity to do this, to talk in real time. I do plan on trying to get to campus at least once a week, and if that is the case, I will try to let you all know 24 hours in advance that I'm going to do that. So if you want to meet me literally face-to-face in my office on campus, that will give you that opportunity. I can't promise that because I just don't know exactly which days and how I'll be feeling, but again, I'll try to give you enough notice so that you know. So that's what you'll have to do for every chapter, and again, all of this information is in the syllabus. Let me just say a few words about grading. There will be 3 in-semester exams that you will take. Each one covers roughly about 4 chapters. Those will be each worth 17% of your grade for a total of 51%. You'll take those exams in the testing labs here on campus. There's more about that in the syllabus, and I'll certainly explain more as those get closer. There'll also be a final exam that will cover the last section of the course, plus some material from earlier in the course, so it's semi-cumulative. That's worth 22%. Your contributions to those weekly discussion forums, again, there's 15 of them, 1 for each week. I will take your 12 best grades. So you can blow off 3 of them if you want, or do all 15, and I'll take your 12 best. That will count for 12% of your grade. General class participation, the open discussion forum, other kinds of things will be 5%. And finally, there will be 1 short writing assignment this semester, what I call the Economic Way of Thinking paper. I'll have a whole handout on that. That will be due later in the semester. I will put the assignment up fairly early, so you'll have plenty of time to work on it. So let me just sort of say in general that I view a syllabus as a mutual contract, as a contract between you all and myself. But given that this is the first time I've taught this course online, I've taught this course for almost 30 years, but the first time I've taught it online, I just want to add one element to that promise. If you guys promise to be patient with me as I figure out the nuances of Blackboard and figure out how to do this online, my promise to you is that if I end up having to move things around or make changes, or if I mess up and make a mistake, I'll always try to correct that mistake or make those changes in ways that certainly don't harm you and hopefully will benefit you. So don't be rooting for me to make mistakes, but if I do make mistakes or if we do have some kind of problem, I'll make sure that I correct those in ways that work to your benefit. As I said, all the other key information about the course is in the syllabus. That is already available up on Blackboard, so you should go take a look. I know that many of you signed up for this course expecting a regular classroom brick and mortar course, but I think it will work online, and I think we can have some fun doing this, and doing it online gives me an opportunity to give you lots of supplemental material, some really cool videos, and get you engaged in ways that perhaps I couldn't do as easily in the classroom. And as I said, I will try to make myself available through Skype or Google Hangouts or in person when I'm on campus. And in addition, I should add, you can always email me. I respond to email very quickly, so that is actually the best way to get a hold of me, is to email me, whether you can use the Blackboard email function, or you can just email me straight out through whatever email you have. My preferences that would be that you email me through your Ball State email account. It just enables me to sort my email a little bit better. I think that's everything I want to say. Again, you should, if you have not taken a look at the syllabus yet, you should definitely go do that. And then on Monday the 8th, I will make Chapter 1 available to you, and you can get started. We'll get started, and I hope that we have a good semester together. I look forward to it.